Good afternoon, friends. This is a Wednesday, December 18th that we're recording this. We're taping an interview with Jane Fuller. Jane, what's your middle initial? Do you say your middle name?
My middle name is Bliss. B is my middle initial.
That's cool. Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Jane Bliss Fuller, who is the 3rd District County Council representative, San Juan County Council, and been serving for an entire year as the chair, right? Doing a great job.
Correct.
Well, I asked Jane a long time ago if, well, not that long ago, if we could talk about all kinds of things that have been going on, particularly the ferries. There's been a lot of work going on in getting the response to the opportunity that the governor brought us with the $1 million in emergency funds. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the end of the term of Cindy and Christine, your colleagues. I think you want to say some things about that. But first, we're going to get to something that has been a little bit of a controversy in recent days, and that is the Lopez Solid Waste Disposal District. And I'm not going to ask you a whole bunch of questions. I think I just want to turn it over to you and tell me what your current thinking is on that.
Thanks, Jeff. And I appreciate this opportunity, sort of end of 2025 and end of 24, rather, end of my first 2 years to check in with you and reflect a little. And in the context of probably one of the biggest controversies I've experienced so far as a Lopez Island District 3 representative, as a council person, is indeed the upset that was generated recently in our community regarding the county's relationship with the Lopez Solid Waste Disposal District, and so I think off the top, I want to message to my community of Lopez Island that I very much appreciate and respect all the work that the dump entails, and all the hard effort of volunteers and also paid staff who make the dump what it is. We call it the dump affectionately. But it is a really critical lifeline, to take it or leave it. That is where people who need goods can take them for free, and people can give back things they don't need, and things can get recycled and reused. And that aspect of our solid waste disposal district is essential to our population, beloved by visitors and part-timers. The governor loves it, but my relationship to the dump goes back to 1978. So I'm a huge supporter of the operations of our dump. We're extremely proud of it. It's won many awards. And they were one of the first local partners that reached out to me to introduce themselves to me as a new council person in January of 2023. And the purpose of that outreach was really, to give me a walk around the site, show me their operations firsthand, which I hadn't seen firsthand before. But also to share with me their ongoing frustrations with the relationship with the county, and the fact that they were having some challenges feeling adequately consulted and in communications with our county organization, particularly with our county manager at the time, but also the Department of Environmental Stewardship. So I've known since almost 2 years now that relationship needed mending, and it needed mending so that we could chart a sustainable and solid and viable path for our solid waste system on Lopez for many years to come, particularly given that the interlocal agreement expired at the end of last year, 2023, and was given an extension by council for a year. And we had hoped that we could mutually come to some agreeable terms for a new multi-year agreement. Unfortunately, in my 2 years on council, with now having had 3 county managers in 2 years, we have not had a lot of stability on our side in terms of having a smooth operation on the county side. And I think, we as a county have a role to play in things being difficult in that relationship. And at the same time, I think the district also needs to look at the relationship and see how it can come to the table with us to strike amenable terms of a renewed ILA that are grounded in our code properly, and so that it can be a well-functioning district, as it has been and continues to be for many years. So unfortunately, on the 4th of December, there was a statement put out by A local who happens to be a member of the board, that wasn't a board approved statement, that indicated that we were trying to take over the dump as a county, which it has no intention of doing, and that I was leading that effort to take over the dump, which couldn't be further from the truth. The bottom line is, we have to have a better working relationship. It is flawed, and I have a good understanding of where some of the problems lie. And Jeff, looking forward into 2025, I want to get the relationship right and for the long term. And I want the county to properly serve and support that district as it deserves to be, as the unique district that it is. And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that in the last levy that was just passed in November, 80% of our population voted in favor of an increased levy. It was the first time the district had increased the levy in almost more than 10 years. And 80% of our population supported an increased levy. So I'm right in there. I voted that way as well. And I just want the community to know I back the dump and want to make sure the county's doing what it can to support it.
80%, I believe that was the highest majority of any of the initiatives.
I think it was, and Lopezians are really proud of that. And Jeff, I don't know if you knew, but there's a volunteer contingent of more than 60 Lopezians who work at that dump and commit their volunteer time. So it's an institution on our island, and I wouldn't want anyone to think that I don't respect that deeply and want to help it.
Okay, well, I hope those words are helpful. The dump. So the dump, again, as you said, is a term of endearment on Lopez Island, the dump. I think that's funny.
It is.
It's usually not the preferred label.
No.
It works.